Have you ever reached a moment when the weight of life pressed so hard against your chest that you could barely breathe, and all you could do was whisper a silent prayer in the darkness? That moment, as heavy as it feels, is not weakness. It is the very proof that your heart is still alive, still fighting, still reaching for something greater than what your eyes can see. In that fragile whisper lies the seed of transformation. A force stronger than fear, stronger than doubt, stronger than despair. It is the hidden key that begins to unlock a door you thought was sealed shut. When hardship surrounds you, it convinces you that you are powerless. It tells you there is no way forward, no light ahead, no relief in sight. Yet the truth is different. The moment your soul bows in prayer, something shifts within you. It may not erase the storm instantly, but it awakens a strength you didn't know you carried. Prayer is not only words, it is energy, alignment, and surrender. It is the act of turning pain into power and confusion into clarity. The very act of speaking from your heart interrupts the cycle of despair and introduces hope into the room. Science shows that belief changes the body, calms the nervous system, and steadies the heart. But beyond the science lies something even greater. The connection between you and the one who hears what no one else hears. The one who sees the tears that never reach your face, the thoughts that never reach your lips. This connection reminds you that you are never truly alone, even when the world seems silent. Your prayer becomes proof that your spirit is still alive, that you refuse to give in, that your story is still being written. Imagine the power in knowing that your hardship is not the final chapter. Each prayer you release is like a spark striking against the darkness, building into a fire that cannot be extinguished. When you pray, you claim your right to rise, your right to heal, your right to step into a life filled with blessings that hardship tried to hide from you. Prayer does not beg, it declares. It declares that you are worthy of breakthrough, worthy of love, worthy of peace, worthy of joy. And this is why you must stay with me until the end. Because the prayer that ends hardship is not distant, not unreachable, not hidden from you. It is within you, waiting to be awakened. In the words you speak, in the faith you hold, in the surrender you offer, lies the pathway to the blessings you have longed for. The journey begins now. And every moment you lean into this truth, you move closer to freedom. If you have been searching for the doorway out of struggle and into abundance, know this: your prayer is the key, and today is the moment to turn it. Hardship has a way of making you believe it exists to break you, yet in truth it exists to build you. Every struggle you face is not a punishment, but a preparation. The pain you endure sharpens your focus, strengthens your resilience, and stretches your capacity to handle the blessings that await you. When life presses against you, it is shaping you into someone who can stand taller, walk stronger, and carry the weight of greater opportunities without being crushed by them. Without the refining fire of hardship, the depth of your strength would remain hidden, and the vastness of your potential would remain untouched. It is easy to see obstacles as barriers, but in reality they are mirrors reflecting what you are capable of overcoming. Each difficulty reveals a part of you that you may have forgotten: your persistence, your courage, your ability to endure, even when everything within you screams to give up. The very challenges you wish would disappear are the ones molding you into the person who can receive and sustain abundance. This is why prayer in hardship carries such profound power. It transforms suffering into wisdom, weakness into strength, and fear into fuel for growth. When you pray in the midst of trials, you are not only asking for relief, you are aligning yourself with the truth that nothing is wasted. Every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered question is shaping your spirit for something greater. Hardship is not a wall, it is a doorway disguised as difficulty. It teaches you patience, it demands humility, and it calls forth perseverance that will serve you long after the storm has passed. Through prayer, you begin to see the storm not as the end, but as the beginning of your breakthrough. Your struggles are not evidence of abandonment, they are evidence that you are being prepared for a higher level of life. Diamonds are formed under pressure, and so are you. Gold is purified by fire, and so is your faith. Without resistance, you would never grow stronger. Without hardship, you would never learn to rise. Each moment of difficulty is shaping a resilience within you that hardship itself cannot destroy. When you recognize this, prayer becomes more than a cry for help. It becomes a declaration that you are ready to endure the refining, ready to embrace the lesson, and ready to step into the blessings that follow. The truth is, your struggle has meaning. It is not random, it is not empty, it is not wasted. The weight you carry today is the very thing preparing you to walk lightly tomorrow. The more you lean into prayer during hardship, the more you discover that what once felt like a curse is actually a hidden blessing. Stay anchored in this truth, because the very hardship that tried to bury you will be the same hardship that elevates you to a life far greater than you imagined. In the silence that follows struggle, the greatest strength is found. When everything around you feels chaotic, when your thoughts race and your heart feels heavy, there is one place where clarity begins to rise within the stillness of prayer. Silence is not emptiness, it is space for renewal. It is where the noise of fear begins to fade and the whispers of guidance become clear. In that quiet place, you are not escaping the world. You are aligning with the power that transcends it. Stillness is the soil where peace takes root, and prayer is the seed that grows into unshakable strength. When your mind is filled with worry, it becomes difficult to see solutions. Anxiety clouds judgment, fear magnifies problems, and doubt convinces you that you are trapped. But the moment you pause, breathe, and center yourself in prayer, the storm within you begins to settle. Your nervous system calms, your heart steadies, and your perspective shifts. What once looked impossible begins to look manageable. Stillness creates the space for clarity to rise above confusion. And clarity is the foundation of strength. Through prayer, you create that stillness even in the middle of life's storms. Stillness is not weakness, it is discipline. It takes courage to quiet the noise of the world and listen to the deeper voice within. When you train your mind to rest in silence, you are not ignoring reality. You are preparing yourself to face it with renewed vision. In those moments of quiet reflection, the answers you have been searching for begin to surface. Solutions that seemed hidden reveal themselves. Strength you thought you had lost returns. The stillness of prayer is where the broken pieces of your spirit are gathered and made whole again. When you close your eyes in prayer and enter into silence, you are teaching your heart to trust more than it fears. You are allowing your soul to breathe in the presence of peace. You are telling yourself that you do not need to fight every battle alone, that you do not need to carry every weight by yourself. In that stillness, the energy of faith rises within you, calming your doubts and strengthening your resolve. This is how prayer transforms chaos into order and despair into hope. It begins by slowing down the noise of life and giving space for truth to enter. The strength you seek is not found in endless striving. It is found in the stillness where you realign with purpose. Every time you choose silence over panic, prayer over fear, and calm over chaos, you are teaching yourself that peace is power. The stillness within you is not fragile, it is unshakable. It is the unmovable anchor that holds you steady when everything else trembles. And when you learn to live from that place, hardship no longer controls you. Instead, you rise above it with the calm, steady strength of someone who knows they are guided, protected, and unbreakable. Fear thrives in the absence of faith. It feeds on uncertainty, magnifies your doubts, and convinces you that you are powerless against what lies ahead. Yet the moment faith enters, fear begins to dissolve. Faith is the fire that consumes the shadows of anxiety. It does not deny the reality of your struggle, but it changes the way you face it. Where fear whispers that you are not enough, faith declares that you already carry the strength to endure. Where fear says the road is impossible, faith insists that every step forward is proof of your resilience. Prayer is the bridge between fear and faith. When you bow your heart in prayer, you are not running from your fear, you are transforming it. Fear narrows your vision until you see only the obstacle, but faith expands it until you recognize the possibility hidden within the challenge. In prayer, you exchange the weight of uncertainty for the assurance that you are guided. You are no longer fighting blind. You are no longer drowning in what ifs. Faith steadies your heart and teaches you to stand even when nothing around you makes sense. Every time you choose faith over fear, you rewire the patterns of your mind. Fear conditions your brain to expect failure, but faith conditions it to expect breakthrough. Fear tenses your body and clouds your judgment, but faith releases calm, clarity, and strength. This shift is not imaginary. It is real, tangible, and powerful. The energy of faith empowers you to act where fear would have paralyzed you. It gives you courage to move forward, even with trembling hands and uncertain steps, because you know you are not moving alone. The storms of life are not meant to drown you. They are meant to show you the depth of your faith. Fear wants you to focus on the waves, but faith teaches you to focus on the strength within you. Through prayer, your attention shifts from the size of the problem to the size of the power that carries you through it. Faith reminds you that no challenge is greater than the spirit within you. It anchors your soul when everything else feels unstable. It keeps you grounded in truth when lies of doubt surround you. Fear may come knocking, but it no longer gets to rule you. Prayer builds faith until it becomes louder than fear, stronger than despair, and brighter than the darkest night. With faith, every step forward becomes a victory. Every breath becomes proof that you are still standing. Every prayer becomes fuel for courage. And as faith grows within you, fear shrinks into silence. You begin to walk not as someone held captive by hardship, but as someone empowered by belief. This is the transformation prayer offers. The power to take fear and turn it into unshakable faith that leads you into blessings far beyond what fear ever allowed you to see. Real strength is not found in control, but in surrender. The mind wants to hold everything tightly, to solve every problem, to predict every outcome, to force life into order. Yet the harder you cling, the heavier the weight becomes. Anxiety grows, fear multiplies, and peace slips away. Prayer teaches a higher way. It teaches that release is not weakness, but freedom. Surrender is not giving up. It is letting go of the illusion that you must carry everything alone. When you release what is too heavy, you create space for strengths greater than your own to lift you. Surrender through prayer is the quiet act of opening your hands and saying, I cannot do this by myself, but I trust there is a power that can. In that moment, a burden lifts from your chest, not because the challenge has disappeared, but because you have chosen to stop wrestling with it in isolation. You allow your spirit to breathe again. You allow your mind to rest. This surrender does not strip you of power. It multiplies it. It turns exhaustion into renewal, confusion into clarity, and fear into calm. When you hold tightly to control, you resist the flow of life. You create tension within yourself that drains your energy and clouds your vision. But the moment you let go in prayer, the tension begins to dissolve. Surrender is not about losing, it's about gaining back your strength. It is about aligning with the truth greater than your own limitations. When you stop forcing, you start receiving. When you stop fighting against the current, you find the current was always carrying you forward. This is the paradox of prayer. When you let go, you are lifted higher. The surrender that feels like weakness becomes the foundation of power. You realize that you do not need to control every detail to walk into blessings. You do not need to manipulate every outcome to find peace. You do not need to have every answer to trust that answers will come. Surrender removes the weight of trying to be everything, and in that release, you finally experience freedom. Through prayerful surrender, you step into a strength that does not run out, a strength that cannot be shaken by what people say or by what circumstances appear to show, a strength that allows you to walk forward with steady confidence even when the path ahead is unclear. The act of surrender is the act of faith in its purest form. It is declaring that you no longer place trust in fear, but in the certainty that every challenge is shaping you and every blessing is already moving toward you. Let go, not because you are weak, but because you are wise enough to know that surrender is the gateway to peace, power, and the blessings your heart has been waiting for. Gratitude is the language that unlocks blessings long before they appear. It is easy to be thankful when life is smooth, when answers arrive quickly, when doors open without resistance. But the true power of gratitude is revealed when you choose to give thanks even in the waiting, even in the uncertainty, even when the evidence of change has not yet shown itself. Gratitude in prayer shifts your focus from what is missing to what is possible. It takes your mind off the emptiness and fills it with hope. It rewires your heart to see not only what has been lost, but also what is being prepared for you. When you begin to thank before the answer arrives, you are declaring that blessings are already on their way. Gratitude trains your spirit to expect abundance rather than doubt it. It transforms prayer from desperation into confidence, from fear into faith. Each time you give thanks, your perspective rises above the struggle and into alignment with possibility. Instead of being weighed down by what you lack, you are lifted by what you believe is coming. This mindset not only strengthens your faith, it attracts opportunities, solutions, and peace that fear would have blinded you from seeing. Gratitude is not denial of hardship, it is strength in the midst of it. It says, I may not see the full picture yet, but I am grateful for the process that is shaping me. I am grateful for the breath in my lungs, the lessons hidden in the struggle, the unseen blessings preparing to unfold. Gratitude gives meaning to waiting. It keeps you steady when your heart wants to give up. It reminds you that even now, even here, you are not without gifts. The simple act of acknowledging what is already present creates the emotional resilience needed to endure until what you have prayed for arrives. In prayer, gratitude opens your heart wider. It removes bitterness, dissolves resentment, and makes room for joy. It strengthens relationships, brightens perspective, and renews energy. When you choose gratitude, you are no longer controlled by what you lack. You are empowered by what you already have. And that shift in energy draws even more blessings toward you. Life responds to gratitude with generosity. What you honor multiplies. What you give thanks for expands. Gratitude is the soil where blessings grow, and your prayer is the water that nourishes them. So give thanks, not only for what is in your hands today, but for what is already moving toward you. Thank the process, thank the struggle, thank the unseen answers that are aligning in your favor. Gratitude is the bridge between prayer and fulfillment, between hardship and blessing, between fear and faith. The more you practice it, the more your spirit begins to live in abundance, regardless of what your circumstances try to say. Gratitude transforms every prayer into a magnet for blessings, because a grateful heart is already open to receive them. Gratitude opens the heart, but persistence keeps it alive. Prayer is not a single act of hope. It is a practice, a rhythm, a steady flame that continues to burn even when winds of doubt try to extinguish it. Hardship often lasts longer than you want, and the temptation to quit will come. Yet persistence is what transforms prayer from a passing cry into a force that shapes reality. Each time you return to prayer, you are training your spirit to endure, to believe, and to trust in timing greater than your own. Persistence is not about repeating empty words. It is about building a foundation of faith that cannot be shaken. The mind craves quick results, but the heart grows stronger when it learns to wait with purpose. Every moment of persistence builds resilience. It teaches patience when impatience rises. It strengthens discipline when discouragement whispers. It proves to your soul that you are committed not just to the outcome, but to the process of transformation. Through persistence, you rise above the fleeting emotions of the moment and anchor yourself in truth. Consistency in prayer is a declaration that you refuse to be defined by delay. It is easy to doubt when answers take time, but persistent silences doubt by choosing faith again and again. It says, even if the door has not opened yet, I will keep knocking. Even if the answer has not arrived yet, I will keep believing. Even if the season feels endless, I will not give up. Persistence keeps your spirit alive, your hope awake, and your heart open to receive when the time is right. There is power in repetition, not because the world needs to be reminded of your desire, but because you need to be reminded of your strength. Each prayer is another step forward, another layer of resilience, another reminder that you are not defeated. Persistence transforms waiting into preparation. It keeps you aligned when everything around you tries to pull you off course. It builds the inner endurance needed to carry the blessings that are coming. Because blessings without persistence often slip away. When you persist, you send a message to yourself and to life itself. I will not be moved by delay. I will not be silenced by discouragement. I will not abandon my faith because the journey is long. That mindset is unshakable. That mindset is magnetic. That mindset ensures that when blessings finally arrive, you will not only recognize them, you will be ready to sustain them. Persistence is proof of your faith. It is the strength that bridges the gap between hardship and breakthrough. Keep going even when nothing changes. Keep praying even when the silence feels heavy. Keep believing even when the evidence is not yet visible. Persistence is not wasted energy. It is the key that eventually unlocks the door. Every time you choose to persist, you are moving closer to the blessing that persistence itself has already begun to create within you. Persistence gives strength to your spirit. But the true depth of prayer comes from the honesty within it. Words without heart are empty, but words spoken with truth carry weight that moves mountains. The most powerful prayer is not polished, not rehearsed, not measured by perfect phrases. It is raw, it is real. It is the cry of the soul spoken without filter. When you allow yourself to be fully honest in prayer, you create space for transformation, because authenticity unlocks connection. The heart that speaks without masks finds peace that cannot be shaken. There is freedom in expressing your deepest fears, your unspoken doubts, and your hidden desires. Too often people silence themselves, thinking they must appear strong even in prayer. But the strength of prayer is not in pretending to have it all together. It is in admitting that you don't. Honesty opens the door to healing. When you pour out what is heavy, you no longer carry it alone. When you release what is buried, you create room for renewal. Prayer is not performance, it is conversation from the deepest part of your being. Every thought you put into words begins to shape your inner world. Language is not only communication, it is creation. The words you choose in prayer shift your mindset, influence your emotions, and direct your focus. When your words come from a place of truth, they align your entire being with faith. They remind you of what you are capable of enduring and of what you are destined to receive. The honesty of your language becomes a declaration of your strength, and that declaration echoes back into your life with power. The heart does not need to be eloquent to be heard. It does not need perfect sentences or flawless expressions. What matters is sincerity. When you say, I am tired, I am afraid, I am waiting, but I still believe, those words carry more power than any scripted phrases ever could. They reach into the deepest layers of your spirit and begin to rebuild what hardship tried to break. Prayer from the heart does not seek to impress, it seeks to connect. And connection is what transforms struggle into peace and emptiness into fulfillment. When your prayer flows with honesty, you align with your truest self. You are no longer hiding behind fear, doubt, or pride. You stand before life as you are, unfiltered, unmasked, and unafraid to be real. That kind of openness creates a bond so strong it cannot be broken. It creates healing where there was pain, clarity where there was confusion, and strength where there was weakness. The words of the heart are not wasted. They are energy, they are intention, and they are faith expressed in its purest form. Speak them boldly, because the honesty of your prayer is the very thing that begins to unlock the blessings waiting for you. When the weight of hardship presses on you, your vision begins to narrow. You start to see only the pain, only the obstacles, only the closed doors. Fear shrinks your perspective until the struggle feels endless and the future looks empty. But prayer has the power to lift your eyes beyond the storm. It restores your sight when life has blurred it. It reminds you that the present struggle is not the final picture, that there is more waiting beyond the horizon of your pain. Vision born from prayer is not about ignoring reality, it is about expanding it. It is about seeing possibility where fear shows only limitation. Hope is not a vague feeling, it is a psychological force that sustains endurance. When you pray with vision, you awaken that force. You begin to imagine outcomes that fear tried to erase from your mind. You allow yourself to believe in healing, in restoration, in new beginnings. This shift in perspective changes everything. Where despair once drained your strength, hope begins to refill it. Where doubt once silenced your courage, vision inspires you to keep moving. The mind may try to convince you that your current situation defines you, but prayer teaches your heart that what is seen is temporary and what is promised is still unfolding. Every great transformation begins with a vision that outlasts pain. When you hold that vision in prayer, you give your spirit something to cling to when circumstances try to pull you under. You remind yourself that what is breaking you now is also building you for what is coming. Prayer strengthens this vision until it becomes an anchor. Even when storms rage, you know where you are headed. You may bend under the pressure, but you will not break because your vision keeps you steady. When you choose to lift your focus, you reclaim power over your own mind. You refuse to let hardship dictate your perspective. You train your inner world to see beyond the struggle and to live as if the blessing is already on its way. That mindset shifts your energy, your choices, and your resilience. It allows you to rise each day not as someone defeated by life, but as someone being prepared for more. The vision you carry in prayer creates the fuel you need to endure, to persist, and to keep believing until breakthrough comes. Do not let hardship define what you see. Let prayer open your eyes to the possibilities that pain tries to hide. Lift your vision above the struggle and lock it on the promise of blessings ahead. When you see beyond the storm, you weaken the grip of despair and strengthen the power of faith. And once you live with vision, no hardship can hold you down, because you know with certainty that what lies ahead is far greater than what you are walking through now. Word count 500. Do you want me to continue with the 10th section, 500 words, and carry the same emotional intensity forward? Strength is not built in the absence of struggle. It is forged in the fire of resistance. In the moments when everything in you wants to quit, but something deeper whispers that you cannot stop here. Every challenge is not an obstacle meant to destroy you, but a tool designed to reveal the depth of your resilience. Pain does not arrive to diminish you. It arrives to uncover the hidden power you did not know existed within you. When you stop resisting the weight of life and instead embrace it, you begin to transform that very weight into the force that strengthens your spirit. Your greatest growth often comes disguised as difficulty. The battles you face are shaping you into someone who cannot be broken by the same storms that once overwhelmed you. Each hardship is pressing you, molding you, stretching you beyond the comfort of who you were, so that you may step into the strength of who you are meant to become. It is through struggle that clarity emerges. It is through resistance that endurance is born. It is through setbacks that determination is refined into something unshakable. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you rewrite the narrative of your life. You declare that defeat is not your identity and that despair is not your destiny. Resilience is not about pretending the pain does not exist. It is about refusing to let the pain define the end of your story. You breathe through it, push through it, and choose to keep moving even when your body aches and your heart trembles. That is the true power of endurance. Choosing strength when weakness would be easier. Choosing faith when doubt seems louder. Choosing to rise again when everything has pushed you to the ground. When you embrace this mindset, you unlock a level of growth that cannot be taken from you. No matter how many doors close, you begin to trust that another will open. No matter how many times you stumble, you believe in your ability to rise higher than before. Each scar becomes a reminder that you endured what was meant to break you. Each wound becomes proof that you are stronger than the storm you survived. This resilience becomes the foundation upon which your blessings will be built. Do not shrink in the face of difficulty. Do not let pain convince you that you are powerless. Let every hardship fuel your transformation. Let every resistance sharpen your will. Let every moment of struggle remind you that growth is taking place even when you cannot yet see the results. The pressure you feel today is the very energy shaping you into the unshakable, unstoppable force you were destined to be. The fire may burn, but it will not consume you. It will refine you, strengthen you, and elevate you into the fullness of who you were always meant to become. There is a hidden power that awakens when you stop running from your hardships and start standing firmly in the middle of them. The very storms that once seemed unbearable begin to reveal their true purpose. They are not meant to silence you, but to teach you how to speak with strength. They are not meant to bury you, but to show you how deeply your roots have been planted. You discover that the pressure around you is not crushing your spirit, but shaping it into something unbreakable. The weight that once threatened to pull you under becomes the resistance that builds your endurance. Every struggle is an invitation to rise higher than the version of yourself that existed before. It is the proof that life trusts you with growth, trusts you with strength, trusts you with resilience. Hardship does not arrive at random. It arrives to awaken the parts of you that could never emerge in ease. It strips away illusions, distractions, and the lies you once believed about yourself. It leaves you face to face with your real strength, the raw determination that refuses to let darkness decide the course of your destiny. You are stronger than the fear whispering that you cannot go further. You are greater than the doubt telling you that you are finished. You are bigger than the setbacks that try to hold you captive. Your soul was not created to surrender under pressure. It was designed to endure, to grow, and to rise beyond the limits placed upon it. When you remember this, hardship loses its power to paralyze you. Instead, it becomes fuel, a fire that keeps you moving forward with greater intensity than before. Blessings are not our random accidents. They are drawn to the one who refuses to give up in the wilderness, to the one who continues to water the ground even when no harvest is in sight. Every prayer you whispered in silence, every tear you shed in secret, every step you took when no strength remained, all of it is building the pathway to the doors that are about to open before you. The struggle you endure is the currency that pays for the blessings waiting on the other side. You must hold on when everything in you wants to let go. You must believe in your breakthrough when no evidence can yet be seen. The moment you choose to keep moving, even with trembling hands and weary feet, you declare that hardship has no authority over your future. That declaration shifts the atmosphere around you. It draws new strength into your spirit. It attracts the very blessings your soul has been longing for. Every hardship ends, but the strength you build within it remains forever. And when the blessings arrive, they will not just comfort you, they will confirm that nothing you endured was wasted and everything you faced was preparing you for the abundance now stepping into your life. The moments of greatest heaviness are often the moments right before breakthrough. When the night feels longest, the dawn is already on its way. Hardship presses hardest not because you are weak, but because you are closest to stepping into something greater. That pressure is a signal that the old season is ending and a new one is about to begin. You cannot see it yet, but the shift is already unfolding. The very obstacles standing in your path are the final test meant to ensure you are ready for what comes next. When you endure with faith, you are not simply waiting for change, you are shaping yourself into the kind of person who can carry blessings without being crushed by them. Blessings are not only about receiving, they are about responsibility, strength, and the ability to handle more. Hardship trains you for that. It disciplines your spirit, sharpens your focus, and builds your resilience so that when doors open, you will not hesitate, and when opportunities come, you will not let fear steal them away. What feels like delay is often preparation, and what feels like suffering is often the foundation for success. There is a divine order in the chaos of your journey. Every unanswered prayer, every moment of silence, every setback that forced you to stop and breathe has been aligning you with something greater than you could have imagined. You are not forgotten and you are not overlooked. The very fact that you are still standing, still breathing, and still pressing forward is proof that your story is not finished. Hardship does not have the power to write your ending. It only has the power to shape your beginning. The blessings waiting for you are not ordinary. They are designed specifically for you, shaped by the very struggles you have endured. The pain you carried has carved space within you for deeper joy. The tears you shed have watered the ground for a greater harvest. The sleepless nights have awakened a strength in you that nothing can take away. When the blessings come, they will not only lift you, they will remind you of the journey that refined you. They will testify that endurance was worth it and that nothing you suffered was wasted. Hold firm, because the door you have been praying for is already unlocking. The blessing you longed for is already moving toward you. Do not let doubt cause you to step back now. Do not let weariness convince you to stop short of the finish line. You are closer than you think, and everything you have endured is about to make sense. What felt like endless hardship is about to reveal its purpose, and what seemed like silence is about to break into a flood of blessings. that will leave you stronger, fuller, and more alive than ever before. The door to blessings does not open with noise or chaos. It opens in the quiet strength of persistence, in the unwavering faith that refuses to collapse under pressure. Hardship is loud, but blessings often arrive in silence, slipping into your life the moment you decide not to quit. The world may not notice your inner battles, but heaven responds to your unshaken endurance. Every tear shed in solitude, every whispered prayer, every moment you chose hope over despair has been building an unseen momentum. That momentum is what shifts impossibility into possibility. The truth is, transformation happens in the silence of the unseen. It is not when everything around you celebrates that you are growing, but when you stand alone in the darkness and choose to believe anyway. Hardship tries to convince you that silence means abandonment, but in reality, silence is preparation. Silence is the ground where faith takes root. It is in those silent seasons that your spirit learns patience, your heart learns humility, and your will learns strength. These qualities cannot be rushed, and they cannot be manufactured by ease. They are born in the tension between waiting and believing. Blessings are drawn to the one who has been refined by silence, for such a heart knows how to treasure what it receives. If blessings came easily, they would be taken for granted. But when they arrive after seasons of struggle, they are valued, protected, and multiplied. Hardship makes you ready not only to receive, but to sustain. It deepens your gratitude and sharpens your vision so that when abundance flows, you know how to carry it without losing yourself. The journey teaches you not to measure your worth by what you hold in your hands, but by the strength you carry within. You are closer than you realize. The walls that seemed unshakable are already weakening. The chains that felt permanent are already loosening. The prayers that seemed unanswered have been heard all along, and the silence you feared was rejection has only been divine timing. The blessing that is coming is not small, it is not ordinary, and it is not temporary. It is designed to restore what was lost, to heal what was broken, and to elevate you beyond the limits you once thought defined your life. This is why you cannot give up now. The fight you endured was not in vain. The waiting was not wasted. The silence was not empty. Every moment of hardship has been a thread woven into a greater tapestry, one that is about to be revealed before your eyes. Stand strong in this moment, because the shift you have been longing for is already unfolding. The door to blessings is not far away. It is opening even now, and the light that enters will not only end your hardship, but transform it into the foundation of your greatest strength.